We're going to move to departmental reports. We're going to start with police report.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm going to go and share my screen with you. Let's see. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Yes, okay. So the monthly police report, June, as you know, is an unprecedented month within our nation, but also within law enforcement in general. So we had a very busy month in the traffic division, a little bit unique to what we are usually doing. So for the first part of the month, we ended up working multiple protests over a 5-day period. We had 8 in total, and specifically the traffic division was in charge of working with not only the actual coordinator of the protests that came into our city the first weekend in June, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It was a 3-day event that started in the village, and they protested and marched down the boulevard to Cannon Park. Our goal was to coordinate with this person that was posting this stuff on social media that went viral, saying that they were going to peacefully protest in our city. And then we also had multiple protests enter our city from Oceanside on the same day as the first couple that we had, and then we had the following weekend additional ones coming from Oceanside. So as you can imagine, there was a lot of work involved with this, with organizing with the protester to try to keep not only the businesses and residents safe, but also to protect the protesters and to exercise their First Amendment. We had to organize with the streets department for road closures, and it was, we're happy to report that it was a peaceful month of protests. We don't know if these are going to be completely done or if we will see more, but we feel that it was pretty successful with the fact that there was no injuries reported and there was no damage to any residences or businesses within our city. I'm sure many of you have seen, unfortunately, we did have a fatal collision in the month of June. It was on the 24th. It was at about 2:30 in the morning, a solo rollover collision on Carlsbad Village Drive. The driver was heading westbound on Carlsbad Village Drive, approaching the intersection at Valley Street. They were speeding. Unfortunately, there was 8 juveniles in the vehicle. At this point, we've only been able to confirm that 4 of them were wearing their seatbelts. This driver was speeding, and tragically, 1 juvenile passed away on scene. Another one is in the ICU at a hospital within the county, and it was a really, really tough accident. This investigation is very, very lengthy, and we're still in the middle of it. But the case agent for this is still working with the juvenile district attorney's office. And there's things like doing a vehicle inspection. We're waiting for blood toxicology results, and the case agent is re-interviewing all the juveniles, the 7 that are still here, to try to figure out exactly what happened. So it's an emotional case. It's a hard case to respond to and these to work, and the officers are literally working day and night to wrap this case up and get the report over to the DA's office and then see what their recommendation is. We did do some, while we were working the protests, we did take a break from enforcement, obviously, because the boulevard was shut down for multiple days. But we did post up an electronic message board for 2 weeks near Poinsettia and Carlsbad Boulevard to educate people regarding loud exhaust. The board had to be moved this past weekend because we borrowed those electronic message boards from the streets department, and they had to use it for some of their night work, but we will be borrowing it again in the next coming weeks. And during the month of June, 7 motorists were given either a warning or a citation for loud exhaust on the boulevard. And then bicycle safety, we're just continuing that throughout the month. And I did receive an email from Commissioner Pensiers with some information regarding a Zoom educational class. So we'll be putting that out hopefully today or tomorrow. I sent it to our public information officer to post that on our PD social media. But in the month of June, our bicycle officers are still out there. They're out in the village and along the boulevard. They were able to give 45 bicyclists either a warning or citation for riding the wrong way. And then an additional 25 bicyclists were given a warning or citation for riding on the sidewalk. So I know that's been a consistent concern, and it seems like we do have more bicyclists out and about during COVID. That's been expressed by residents, and I know some of the commissioners. So we still have officers that are out on bicycle patrol in an effort to kind of curb some of this activity. And that's all that I have for the monthly PD report.
Thank you. It's the accident with the age juvenile is just horrific. I can't imagine for just our community alone. Everybody was just in shock. So I can't imagine for you guys to actually be physically and emotionally involved in all the details. So really, thank you for all that. And on the loud bicycle, the loud exhaust, is that only vehicles or is it motorcycles too?
It's both. I think we end up catching more motorcyclists. And one of the things that we're noticing with the motorcyclists too is that they are also riding in the bike lane near Cannon and Carlsbad Boulevard. So we've been catching them doing that. But yes, it's both vehicles and motorcyclists.
Yeah, because that's what I've observed. A lot of motorcycles, they intentionally rev it up, like at Carlsbad Village and Carlsbad Boulevard. Do any other commissioners have any questions or comments for Lieutenant? I see Vice Chair Johnson.
Yes, I'd like to thank Lieutenant Calderwood for the police action and patrolling of the Terramore area during the shutdown of the parking on the boulevard. It was extremely difficult here, and all the residents say thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
Yes.
Commissioner Pensier?
Yeah. I also want to thank Lieutenant Calderwood and also the police department for what they've done. The other place besides Cannon where the motorcyclists are using the bike lane, it's also in front of the Army Navy Academy, and that one is yeah, I don't know whether that's worse or not the other end of the city, but that would be something that the police on bikes would be able to patrol that pretty well.
Okay, yeah, I'll spread the word.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, thank you. I personally want to say thank you to the police department from the bottom of my heart, because it's unbelievable what you guys are going through right now. So my family is with you, and I know many of my community members are, no matter what you hear otherwise.
Well, thank you for the support.